Let us now move on and take the Sutram 6381. Avyayi bhave chakale. We have already used this Sutram in various examples when we studied the Sutram 216. At that time we did not want to disturb the sequence of 216. That is why we did not take this Sutram 6381 in detail at that time. But now that we have finished the long Sutram 216, we can take this Sutram 6381. First of all, notice that we are jumping to a completely different section of the Ashtadhyayi. This is the third quarter of chapter 6 of the Ashtadhyayi. But the good news is that we are quite familiar with this section. Recall that the anuvritti of Uttarapade runs down all the way from 631 till the end of this third quarter of chapter 6 of the Ashtadhyayi. Uttarapade means when a latter member of a compound follows, which obviously means that the operations are taking place on the prior member of the compound, because that is the one that has the latter member following it. Also recall that we have studied a few rules from this quarter. For example, we have studied 6314, Tatpurushe Kritibahulam. We have studied 6357, Udakasyodas Sanyayam, 6367, Ardvishadajantasya Vum. We have also studied 63122. For example, Upasargasya Ghanyamanushe Bahulam. These rules we studied when we were looking at Upapada Samasaha, when we were studying the Krit affixes. So this section is not new to us. Right now we're going to focus on 6381 because we are studying Avyayibhava compounds. Sutram here says Avyayibhave cha kale. Padacheda is Avyayibhave cha akale. Anuvritti of Sahasya Saha is coming down from 6378. So the vritti says Sahasya Saha Syad Avyayibhave Natu Kale, which means that in a Avyayibhava compound, Avyayibhave, the Avyayam indeclinable Saha is replaced by Sa, provided the latter member of the compound does not denote a period of time. As we already mentioned, the anuvritti of Uttarapade comes down all the way from 631. It's a very simple sutram. Whenever we have a Avyayibhava compound, the Avyayam Saha, which is in the compound, is replaced by Sa, provided the latter member of the compound does not denote a period of time. Recall that in a Avyayibhava compound, the Avyayam occurs as the prior member of the compound. So Saha is the prior member which gets replaced by Sa. The example here we already studied when we studied the Sutram 216. We can look at it one more time. Laukika Vigraha Vakyam is Trinamapya Parityajya Satrinam Atti Sakalyenetyarthaha Natvatra Trinabhakshane Tatparyam. Means someone eats everything without leaving out even a scrap, a blade of grass. Here blade of grass is figuratively meaning a scrap, even a tiny bit. It means that someone eats everything. Sarvam bhojyam matti. Doesn't mean that someone literally eats a blade of grass. So this is in the sense of sakalyam, which is one of the meanings given in the Sutram 216. So here we have an Avyayam Saha, which is used in the sense of sakalye. It has the implied meaning of sakalyam, because Trinamapya Parityajya means not giving up even a blade of grass, even a scrap. So it means along with that scrap. Trinena Saha. Hence it implies completeness, totality. The compounding is authorized by the Sutram 216 because we do have a Avyayam which is used Sakalya Vachane, which is one of the 16 meanings given in the Sutram 216. The Alaukika Vigraha Vakyam is Trina Ta plus Saha. Here we bring in the third case affix following Trina as per the Sutram 2319. Sahayukte Pradhane. And then we assign the Upasajana Sanya to the Avyayam Saha by the Sutram 1243 Prathamanidrishtam Samas Upasajanam, because in the Samas Vidhayaka Sutram 216 the term Avyayam is Prathamantam, so therefore the Avyayam Saha gets the Upasajana Sanya, and then by 2230 Upasajanam Purvam we place Saha as the prior member of the compound. Now Saha Trinata, which is the compound, gets the designation Pratipadikam by 1246 Krittadita Samasascha, and then we apply 2471 Supo Dhatu Pratipatikayoho to perform the look elision of the affix star, the subaffix star, which is inside the Pratipadikam. Now we have a Avyabhavaha compound, Saha Trina. Saha is the prior member of the compound. It is followed by Trina, which of course does not denote a period of time. So therefore all the conditions for applying 6381 are satisfied. So Saha is replaced by Sa. In the Paribhasha Sutram 1155, Anekal Shit Sarvasya tells us that when we have a Adeshaha, a substitute which has more than one letter, in this case we have the Adeshaha Sa, which is Sakaraha and Akaraha, two letters Sa and hence it replaces the entire sthani, the term being replaced. So the entire term saha is replaced by sa, so we get the form satrana. And then we bring in the default affix su prathama ekvachanam, following the compound pratipadikam satrana, replace su by using 2483 and then amipurvaha to get the form satranam. These are the same steps that we applied when we studied 216. We use this sutram similarly to derive the forms Sagni, Sa Kshatram, Sa Sakhi, Sa Chakram, as well as Sa Hari. Now, why does Panini say Akale? Kale tu Sahapurvanam. But when the latter member of the compound does denote a period of time, Saha is not replaced by Sa. For example, Sahapurvanam, Purvanam apya parityajya, without leaving out even the forenoon. In this compound also, the avyam Saha is used in the sense of Sakalye. Hence, compounding is authorized by the same sutram. 216. For example, Sapurvanam Swapiti. Someone sleeps without even leaving out the forenoon. It implies that he sleeps the entire time. This example illustrates that when we have Uttarapadam, in this case Purvahna, which denotes a period of time, then Saha is not replaced by Sa.